Hi, so I'm going to show you how you can trace your own Tibetan energy rings to get them really nice and strong and holding and reinforced. So just to explain a little bit about what they are, Tibetan energy rings they're a special type of figure eight pattern that's within the Celtic weave, which is an energetic system in the aura, and they tend to follow the body's anatomy. So there are relatively fixed ways where you can start to trace them, whereas other figure eights, you can pretty much do them anywhere. But there are specific pathways we're going to follow with these to really get these Tibetan energy rings nice and strong and holding in the system. They're like two circles of light that have come together to make an eight. So crossing over in this kind of way over the torso, over the throat and the head, and from the hips again, an eight going all the way down to the feet. So the way we're going to trace them on ourselves is to get them nice and strong is we're just going to trace one part of it. So we're going to trace the part that goes from the shoulder to the hip, one side, and then the other side, and from the hip to the opposite foot. So 4 ways on the torso to get this nice and strong. Start by rubbing the hands together, get the electromagnetic energy nice and strong, reinforced, shake them off, and then starting at the opposite shoulder. So for your right hand, you're coming to your left shoulder and just tracing a few inches off the body. And you want to do it relatively slowly, and you want to do it quite a few times. So I would say maybe 20 or so times on one side, and then on the other side. So right shoulder to left hip, or left hip to right shoulder, whichever way you want to start. It doesn't matter which end you start at. And let your body just move with that flow. Rather than being static, it's much easier for that energy to start moving and flowing if you become fluid as you're moving it. And then from the hip down to the opposite foot. And if bending over is not easy or you get out of breath, then please sit down. It's just as effective if you sit down and do it from your hip down to your foot. You also have them connecting the front and the back of the body. So one of the main ways it does that is from the lower back down around the outside of the foot. And again, just slightly off the body, a few inches off the body, coming up and hooking into the back. Make that connection. And then you also have them on the back of the body in the same pattern, but it's much easier if you just have somebody do that for you. So lying down, face down, and then you have them come and trace hip to shoulder, shoulder to hip, and then hip to foot. Just making those nice figure eight patterns. This energy is quite dense, so it's relatively easy to start sensing it. If you're doing this for a while, you really might start to sense that flow of energy. And these are really important for holding the energetic structure. They're like an energetic scaffolding for the body, and also for any immune system issues. It's very, very good to have the Tibetan energy rings nice and strong. They are often depleted when there's something going on with the immune system. So have fun.